Let us come and contemplate for a moment on how the Lord Jesus felt while knowing all the sorrows and the agonies which he was going to enter and endure. In the Garden of Gethsemane, when he begged his heavenly dad, when he cried out to his Father, he was seeing everything before his eyes, what will happen to him in few hours' time. He was seeing it all. So let us contemplate on those last couple of days before the cross. On Wednesday, the Lord was absolutely sleepless. Why? Because the Lord realized that Judas Iscariot had sold him for 30 pieces of silver. The deal has been made. Jesus will be killed. So from Wednesday, he was sleepless. Then Thursday, he stayed up with them. You know, the Last Supper. He stayed up with them. He didn't sleep from Wednesday till Thursday. And then when they finished from that supper, did you know what time they normally get up and leave? After midnight. So when they got to the Garden of Gethsemane or Gethsemane, it would have been around 1 a.m. So Thursday going on to Friday 1 a.m. So from Wednesday, no rest. Thursday, he stayed all day and all night up till 1 a.m. 1 a.m. they went to the Garden of Gethsemane. Then he was arrested in that garden. And he was taken to Annas' house. Annas' house was the high priest prior to Caiaphas. But at the time of the Lord Jesus, it was Caiaphas the high priest. I want you to know this fact about the history of the Israelite nation and the priesthood in the Old Testament. The high priest could only remain as a high priest for 4 years. You know, it's like the presidents or prime ministers, they only last for 4 years and then they have to be voted. However, the high priest at the time had a term of 4 years and 4 years only. The moment his 4 years were finished, he had to step down. No more chance to be a high priest. So Annas was a very cruel high priest, very cruel. Realizing his time is up, he made Caiaphas marry his daughter. So Annas was the father-in-law of Caiaphas the high priest, who was at the time of the Lord Jesus. Why? Because Annas wanted to remain in control. Because he gave his daughter to Caiaphas, whatever he says, he can't say no to Annas, otherwise he will say to his daughter, give him hell. And being a high priest, for his wife to control him, that is an absolute embarrassment before the entire Israelite nation. He is the high priest, for God's sake. His wife. So whatever Annas said, Caiaphas did. This is why when the Lord was captured in the Garden of Gethsemane, he was taken to Annas' house, not Caiaphas. Yet Caiaphas was the high priest, not Annas. Annas was retired, but he was in charge by the looks of it. And then from Annas' house to Caiaphas' house. And from Caiaphas' house to the Sanhedrin council. And from the Sanhedrin council to Pilate. And from Pilate to Herod. And from Herod to Pilate. And from Pilate he was sentenced to be crucified. From Wednesday till Friday morning. From one place to the other. From one place to the other. No rest, no sleep. And don't forget, the sweat turned into blood. Immense, beyond immense stress. The body was already gone. The scourging hasn't taken place yet. He was already gone before the scourging. And then at Pilate's, he was sentenced finally to be crucified. At 9 a.m., they made him carry the cross and walk. And when he was nailed on the cross, it was 12 noon. For 3 hours, every blood in his body was gone. Because the scourging took place. After scourging, they made him carry the cross. They shredded the body. If I tell you what they did, they shredded the body. Psalm 129, King David explains the scourging 1,000 years before it took place. When you read Psalm 129, it is written in a prophetic way, but it is about the scourging. You know what? I'm going to read it. Look, this is the last chapter of Trilogy of Tears, so you better hang in there. All right? Look at Psalm 129. Look at Psalm 129. I didn't plan to say anything about it, but looks like the Lord wants me. Psalm 129, I'll read it all. Many a time they have afflicted me from my youth. Psalm 129 is a prophecy about the crucifixion or the scourging of the Lord Jesus. And it was written 1,000 years prior to his coming. Many a time they have afflicted me from my youth. Let Israel now say, many a time they have afflicted me from my youth. Yet they have not prevailed against me. Verse 3. The plowers plowed on my back. You know, in the good olden days when they used to unearth, like turn the soil from beneath and bring it up, because that soil needs to be unturned. Why? To receive more oxygen and to be more fertile to plant the seeds. How would they plow that earth? They would bring either a cow, one of these animals, and there's 2 ropes tied to that cow, and those 2 ropes come to a piece of wood, and at the end of that piece of wood there is a big sharp knife, and there is a platform. The plower stands on that platform to dig that knife deep into the ground, and then says to the cow, move, to plow the earth. The Lord is saying, the plowers plowed on my back. That whip, when you read history, actually that Roman's whip is still in the museum, displayed in museums. The whip is made out of, the strings are made out of the horse's strings, like the tail of horse. They're very sharp, those strings very sharp. At the end of those strings, they put either a metal ball, and in some, a hook. Sharp hooks. Exactly like the plowers plowed on my back. Then they would order that soldier, Roman soldier, who would be about 110, 120 kilos, all muscle, extremely healthy young man. They would say to him, you are ordered to whip this person. He would go back at least 20 meters and would come running and then jump with all of his might, with all of his power, and then slam that whip with those metal balls and the hook on the back of that person. And obviously the hook is going to go deep in the flesh. Then he would pull it with all of his strength. The flesh is shredded. They whipped the Lord on his back and on his chest. Sorry, but I had to say it. Anyway, so then they put the cross on him, 9 a.m., 12 noon, after 3 hours, the blood is gushing down because the body is shredded. The blood is gushing down. At 12 noon, he is nailed on the cross. 3 p.m., he gives the last breath and dies in the flesh. That's why he begged his dad in the Garden of Gethsemane, just keep the body alive until I say, Teteleste, it is paid in full. Because I could see the body's not going to last. But what does the Holy Bible say? He was heard because of his godly fear. He was heard. The Father granted Jesus the perfect man, his wish.